welcome back to another episode of Self-Development with Tactics podcast. I just really quickly have to check whether the stream is running smoothly, and yes, it is. Today we're going ahead with the monostoicism.com translation of Epictetus and Heridion, or the Handbook, I think it is, translated. Modern, there we go. But we're going ahead with part 2. So we finished with part 1 the last time, and there is part 2 from 3 days ago. And there we go ahead with 1, 2, 3. I guess 15 was the last one we did not go through yet. Well, I guess so. I can actually make this a bit bigger. There we go. 15. Remember that you ought to behave as if you were at a feast. If something that is being passed around has ended up in front of you, stretch out. Where is it? Stretch out your arm and take it, modestly. If it is moving past you, do not try to grasp after it. If it has not yet come, do not send your desire towards it, but wait until it comes to you. Act also like this with children and wives, possessions and wealth, and then will someday be a worthy guest of the gods. And if you do not just abstain from taking what is placed before you, but also look down on them, then you will not just be guest of the gods, but you'll rule with them. Diogenes, I guess, Hercules and people like them became worthy of both being divine and being called divine by doing so. Well, modesty and, not taking everything, not trying to take everything, just, leaving something for other people. I think it is a very good trait to have. I think it is a very good person to be. It feels for me not to be that selfish in a world that is so fucking selfish. It's really insane. Unfortunately, it is the case, but well, what should you do about it? Everyone is selfish, and of course, I think some healthy selfishness is important, and I think we all need it. Period. So one should not necessarily be unhappy about that fact, when it is something that is so important and so necessary at this point in time, at least at my point of view. The 16th. When you see someone who is in pain, either because her child has gone away or her property has been destroyed, make sure that you do not get carried away by the impression that she is in a bad way because of the externals, but be ready to say straight away that she doesn't suffer because of what has happened, because someone else might not have suffered over this, but she suffered rather because of her opinion about what has happened. But do not avoid her, but engage with her with consoling words, and you should even cry with her. If that seems to be called for, just take care that you do not groan on the inside. This is very beautiful. It says that you should show empathy. You should help the people around you that seemingly are in pain, that seemingly are not in a really good place at this point in time. But at the same time, you should not let it be yourself. It should not change who you are. It should not change your mood. It should not change whatever's happening to you or however you are feeling, because it is something outside. It's not something inside, unless you let it inside, of course. And I think it is amazing, especially the part of still help, quite, paraphrased. The 17th and also the last one for this bit. Remember that you are an actor in a play, and that the play is the way that the director wants it to be. If he wants to be short, it will be short. If he wants it to be long, it will be long. If he wants you to play the part of a beggar, make sure that you play the part well, and likewise with the part of a lame person, or a ruler, or a private individual, because this is up to you to play the role that you have been given. Well, the role is up to choose the role is up to another. We are having the role of a human being. Well, you can see it in two very, at least I think about it, in very different ways. On one hand, you can be like, well, I was intended to be a farmer because my parents are also farmers, and so I'm going to be a good farmer. If I hate it, if I like it, if whatever, I'm still going to do so. I would suggest in general to do something that you enjoy, because work is a really big part of life, and it should be enjoyed as much as you can. Because if you don't, you're basically wasting a shit ton of time. And this is definitely nothing that I can suggest and or should suggest. On the other hand, you could also be like, well, what are my talents? What am I good at? What can I do very good that other people can't? And well, I'm probably supposed to do that, because I am this person. I am a person who does X, Y, and Z very good. Whatever it might be, but this is a fact, at least for you, at least in your world. So when you're good at studying, when you're good at cooking, when you're good at cleaning, when you're good at whatever it might be, we all are good at something, and this is also a fact, period. Then we should probably do that. Maybe this is our destiny, which doesn't mean that you can't change your destiny. Sometimes we come to the conclusion that we are very good at something actually pretty late, or out of some accident we figure out that, well, I'm actually very good at this, and I'm actually very good at that. So I guess searching for it and keeping that in mind also makes sense. But up until then, I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. Stay good, stay kind. Cry with other people if it's necessary, if it is good. But you yourself, do not let your character, do not let your inside be crushed by any outside event. And if it is the case, then acknowledge it and be fine with it. But yeah, up until then, see you soon. Bye bye.